I am Abner Sharon Fletcher, and I was born in a small West African country called Ghana. I remember at the age of 15, I gave my life to Christ, or shall I say, Christ took a hold of me. So it was just this, I was ready for this journey of faith, And I remember in Ghana growing up, people would just easily share their faith. They would just open up and tell you about Jesus. You could be riding in a bus and somebody would just stand up preaching the gospel. And then I get to this country and it was all about being politically correct. I remember my uncle and aunt, they were strong atheists. So they even prevented me from going to church. Pretty much what they told me was keep your religion to yourself. But I was glad to be here because I felt like, I was being called into this country. The Lord brought this husband of mine into my life, and we had moved into the DC area. I kept saying to myself, there's got to be more than this. If I think about how the Lord opened the doors for me to be in the US, there's got to be more. Lord, you brought me here for something much, much more. 2015, a friend of ours shared a Facebook post, and it was chain reactions. And he was talking about Paul and Silas and the challenges that they were going through. There was one part of the sermon that he said, there was one thing the enemy did wrong.
He shouldn't have put them in the cell together. He should have kept them where they couldn't hear each other. He shouldn't have let us come together today. Chains break when we come together. Hope rises when we come together.
And it hit me because I thought about the fact that, when I came to this country, I needed that support system. And the Lord surrounded me with people that supported me throughout this journey. And watching that sermon and just talking about support system, it was like my life, So yeah, I was hooked. It felt like I was a consumer for a while, but I wanted to do more. One of the people I found out about was a young lady called Mary, and she had started a watch party in New York. So really the Lord had called me to open up my home, not even knowing where the people were going to come from. I had no idea. All I did was take the step of faith. So every weekend, I will open up my home, regardless of how many people show up.
We are here right outside of Washington, D.C. I am with Sharon. This is her house. But we came up here because we have a great day planned. So here's the deal. I'll tell you a little bit about it right now. We're doing baptisms live from right here outside of Washington, D.C. There are some people who are going to get baptized who've been so impacted by what God's doing here at Elevation Church. And I love being able to say here at Elevation Church. It's not just there, but it's right here.
The first time we started, we probably had a few people, 15 people. But then as time went on, there were times when we would have 50 people show up and we have to come up with seating arrangements just so people can get a place to sit. It's amazing to see the growth, but not just human growth, but just spiritual growth as well. And that's what matters to me, that they would know more about Christ and who he is. Because at the end of the day, it's really all about him.
What I love is that Elevation isn't limited to a certain location. It's not limited to Charlotte, North Carolina. It's not limited to one of our physical locations, but it's right where you are. Wherever you are is where the Spirit of God is. And when God moves through you and the people around you, we believe that miracles can happen.
The way I see it, it's not even about a building. It's us, the people of God, just doing what he's called us to do. Even if it's your basement or a garage, absolutely, why not? God needs us to be support systems for others out there. They need the hope and we have it. They need the answer and we have it. So what's preventing us from doing what he's called us to do? And the way I see it, this is the mission that we've all been called. Not just me, but every believer that accepts Jesus as their personal savior.